was actually gonna wait until I had better sunlight, but it's now pouring a rain outside and it's not changing. And I'm watching the Tour of Romandy, and it's also raining as well. Like it's peeing with rain out there. Hey, did I ever tell you about the time I raced in? Oh wait, no, wrong channel. Okay, everyone, welcome back to another video. Let's recap. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. Let's recap the racing that happened last week. We had all the teams fielding all of their riders for this team time trial, which took place in London. I want to call it like the London Loop, but is it the Greatest London Loop or Greatest London Flat? I never get them right. Like, I just know I was racing in London. So for this week's recaps, we're going to be working the other way around. So we're not going to start with the A's, we're going to start with the C's this time. But before we get there, make sure if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Lots more racing and fun content to come. I know Phil and Scott might be doing a Sport Deep in a couple of weeks. I'm sorry if I wasn't supposed to say that. Was it a secret? This team time trial was flat, it was fast for the most part, but there was some little rollers towards the end which caused some problems for a few teams. Myself and R.4 Zwift had a great race, probably one of our best team time trials to date. I know, sorry, I'm not supposed to mention R.4 Zwift on this channel. Okay, so let's start off with the Backpedal C, the little commas. The plan was to stay together and build speed, keeping the six close to maximise the draft all around the course. The boys settled in a good rhythm from the start, passing Fondre Champagne with the first few minutes. Sam in his first team time trial showed his strength early, and Chris, ever strong and present, did turn after turn on the front. Our nemesis, Zwift Scotland, came through putting out B power numbers, dropping one of their riders before the first Thames crossing. Not the one that goes past Phil House, by the way. Not the one that goes past Phil's penthouse flat, by the way. A lone rider raced our blob and tried to pull Marco out of the draft. A big effort and some choice language, a verbal burrito, broke him free and Marco powered through to take the front. Great teamwork was displayed up the hills with Paul Burham and Jeff leading the boys up the hills. They powered through the last subway, getting everyone through. Teams were splintered all over the course as they exited and moved towards the finish. The team picked off more of the opposition as they approached the last 5k, with Dougie spent his now customary long pause at the front tonight, calling the changes in tactics. He even called on the Magic DS as we rounded the last hairpin and led the boys home. Alexa, play AC/DC.
Shuffling songs by AC/DC on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. Did everybody else's Alexa go off then as well? Did I just fall for that? I think I did, didn't I? Back in Black started pumping. Backpedal C legs strummed the pedals in a high cadence crescendo as we witnessed a last 30-second surge, bringing all six boys over the line almost together. They came 5th overall, the time of 48.53, only 2 minutes off the winners, taking 16 points, and they remain 5th place. Hopefully that's the last of that. Team Ice Spice Buns in the B category went into the second team time trial of the season a little apprehensively following the technical difficulties of the previous race, but their team spirit was still strong. Jonas said, "Are we doing 320 watt pulls again? I think I may need a bit of help between the escalators if I'm to make it across that section." Then during the warm-up, it seemed like the gremlins might strike again. Jonas also, "Last minute issue, my headset with Discord isn't working." However, Jonas sorted it out, and that was the last of the techie issues for this week. But of course, team racing is never straightforward. With the team all in a pen, primed and ready, team captain Paul came late to the Discord channel, fresh, not from his solo effort chasing the B1 round the course, to announce that, "Sorry guys, something has come up and I can't DS tonight." Fortunately, Buddy had chosen to watch the team time trial from the team car pen. "Buddy, can you DS for the team?" asked the desperate Paul. "Of course," replied Buddy, "but how do I watch them?" A brief introduction to fan view followed, while the team sorted themselves out, already being a few kilometres into the team time trial. Thankfully, Buddy's a quick learner, and the team know each other well enough to ad-lib a team time trial while the DS gets their act together. There followed an exemplary display of team-focused effort in the pursuit of a common goal. Really like that. And now from the other B team, the Ed Wannabes. They knew they needed a good team time trial to stay in contention in the top of their league. After the 8th place in the first team time trial, a top 5 finish was the goal of the second team time trial. 6 riders were motivated to suffer for 45 minutes. However, after only a couple of minutes into the race, a mechanical occurred when Jason's trainer died. Obviously too much power. 5 riders continued, and after 10 minutes the team in front of them was caught. Unfortunately, this team hung on to the group for 5 minutes, disrupting the rhythm, losing Paul in the process, who suffered a short dropout after being distanced. After being dropped, Paul continued to ride the TTT on his threshold, and if you were a team, he would have finished above 2 teams. Class. 4 riders were left with over half the distance remaining. Luckily, double turn Alan had amazing legs, and with the encouragement of DS John, the group stayed together on the toughest parts of the course. Phil put in a massive effort hanging on the wheels and even dictated the pace up the escalators, which were orange numbers to Mick's surprise. Besides his strong pulls, Jill took care of many gaps, and after 44 minutes and 58 seconds, the suffering was over. The Wannabes finished in 3rd place, 2 seconds behind number 2 spot and 4 seconds in front of number 4. Now, on to the A teams. The A teams are rapid, but let's face it, all of you are rapid. Ben Pitt sent in this week's roundup for the Southern Ambassadors, who apparently started with a plan, but as the saying goes, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Is that a Tyson Fury quote? No. It's a Mike Tyson quote. Ben blew early and Alejandro had an internet disconnect, but the team pushed. Internet disconnect. That sounds like a good band name. The team pushed on strongly, producing big watts and also plenty of naughty words, as Alejandro described it. Those words only increased in the closing 1 kilometre as we all dug deep. It was another great result, 3rd on stage and only 1 point away from 2nd in the league standings. Awesome job. The amino acids. The time trial, a race where everything can go wrong, as did with the amino acids in the first round, but tonight was different. Tonight, everything went perfectly. Due to the lack of a DS, team captain Paul finally asked for help with regards to the team time trial bot, and was given invaluable info by Backpedal B1 captain Mick. The bot was all the difference. We had the firepower, but the bot had us firing when we needed to. David asked to sit in as he was sure he couldn't pull and stay away at the end. We were all sure we needed all 6 for a good time. Just pause for a second. Basically, the team time trial bot, it's a Discord tool, okay? So it can kind of, instead of doing what Smooth Talker Niels does for us at Wahoo, and tells us when to do our pulls, the Discord bot kind of, well, I've listened, it's very robotic. It's nothing like Niels. Started the bot 40 seconds in, and Discord audio stopped for Paul, who had to fiddle with Discord while trying not to get dropped, but that mishap didn't stop us. Pulling between 5 to 5.5 watts a kilo and pulling it all together up Northumberland Avenue and the horrid escalators, which were called out by Daniel when we were close by, and we even caught both teams that started before us within the first 22 minutes, finishing 1st to 6th on the line. Every time it was someone's pull, they were right there waiting like poetry in motion. Gaps opened a couple of times, but were closed as soon as they were called out. Powering home in 41.43, and finished 3rd in our division and moved back up to 6th in the league table. But most importantly, finishing 1st in the Backpedal mini league. Ooh, I feel like this mini league is getting all tasty. Ruben writes in for the Racers Without Mercy. After a rough practice session last Thursday, the Racers Without Mercy were buzzing to put in a solid performance on the London team time trial. And they did precisely that. Despite another team being a thorn in our sides, as the ridiculous pace led to some unnecessary passes, which unfortunately got Simon Garden View Brown separated from the rest of the team. However, it is also entirely likely that Simon simply got distracted by the majestic view of his garden. Super kudos goes to Painface and the Eagle for promptly closing any gaps, making sure the team got across the line as a group of 5. As a DS, it was especially fulfilling to hear Phil talk on stream about how uplifted he felt having truly raced as a team, which is what this community is all about. And without knowing it, I've ended on a brilliant note there. Nice one, Ruben. That was well worth putting in the final word. I have to say, the team time trial is a difficult one to master. It seems like you've come on leaps and bounds from the last one, just reading and watching the streams and seeing the footage. I hope you enjoy my enthusiasm when I read this, because like, I know most of you can just read them and you don't need me to read them, but I think it just goes to show how excited I am when I'm watching and when I'm hearing, because I don't necessarily get to see what you guys are doing. So I just want to say, keep it up. You're doing a phenomenal job. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying the breakdowns and the reviews. Who knows, we might even go into a bit more detail after the series finishes and see if we can pick apart some of the races. I appreciate your time watching. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.